Hmm? Yeah, Oh, didn't see you there. Greetings. I am the Dark Wizard Marnax. Noobs invited me here to share with you 5 spooky Super Nintendo games to play this Halloween. Let me share them with you now. Anyways, number 5, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. That's right, this one is available on the Super Nintendo Classic right out of the box. This is an ultra hard action platformer, I guess you would call it. It's kind of old school, run and gun style action game. And man, it is crazy hard. So for those of you out there looking for a bit of a devilish challenge, a bit of a fright in the old difficulty department, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is pretty cool, and I love the graphics on this thing. It's the aesthetic is so cool. By the way, that is part of the Ghosts and Goblins franchise, if that wasn't obvious. Number 4, Demon's Crest. Yes, the franchise confusion goes even deeper because this is in fact a game in the Gargoyles Quest franchise, which is itself a spin-off of the Ghosts and Goblins franchise. So this is another kind of, left to right scrolling action game. This one's a little more open world though, in that between the levels you actually fly around an overworld and you kind of choose your levels. And apparently you can go back and revisit levels. There's a bit of a light RPG element where you're, getting additional powers that will help you in levels later in the game. I'm just getting into it myself, but it seems pretty cool, and so far a little easier than Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Super Castlevania 4. Now, for those of you familiar with later Castlevania games, this is before Castlevania put the Vania in Metroidvania. This is very much your standard, again, left to right, action platformer. And, okay, listen. I admit the gameplay is pretty janky here. There's some pretty questionable stuff going on in this game. Anything to do with navigating the stairs is ridiculous. There's also times where you'll just kind of like navigate up. The screen will scroll up, and if you fall back down from where you came, you'll instantly die, even though you just walked up from there. Having said that, you know what? There's a lot of fun to be had in this game. It is easier than Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and the aesthetic is, it's just perfect for Halloween. It's like legitimately got like kind of a scary atmosphere going on, and there's lots of cool monsters to be had in there. So that one is worth checking out. Again, that one is on the Super Nintendo Classic. Demon's Crest is not. Number 2, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. This game is so cool. They did such a good job with this game. Let me tell you about this. Now, you're playing as one of 2 kids, teenagers, I guess. The guy is particularly goofy. He wears like the red and blue 3D glasses. You run around fighting all these zombies and other monsters in all these kind of classic horror movie themed levels. There's tons of levels, by the way. And what you're doing is each level's kind of a little maze. You're running around trying to find all of these sort of victims of the monsters. And the victims are just like your typical people who might live in your town with you. And, they're each worth... The game is so funny. So, like, these different victims that you're rescuing are worth different point values. The cheerleader's worth 1,000, and the teacher is worth 10. Those are the extremes on the points range. So it's a pretty funny game. And, it's got some good, legitimately challenging action in there as well. It's a ton of fun, and worth checking out. Alright, so far we've talked about 4 games that are generally pretty goofy. They got a cool, spooky Halloween aesthetic to them. But, you know what, they're not probably, if we put it in movie terms, they're not the most serious either, are they? But number 1, man, this is like you're going from your... your Evil Dead or your Zombieland. Now you're like, no, now we're watching a serious movie. Now we're gonna watch Alien. Because number 1, I'm talking about Super Metroid. I mean, what better way to cap off your Halloween of gaming with one of the best games ever made? Super Metroid, people still talk about like It's probably still the best Metroid game ever made. And you know what? It's legitimately a very like creepy atmosphere. The little bit of atmospheric sound and music that's in there is just so perfect. There's such a sense of loneliness and foreboding in there. So, if you really want to get serious with your Halloween gaming, Super Metroid. And that one, again, is available on the Super Nintendo Classic. So there we go, guys. 5 spooky Super Nintendo games to play this Halloween. Let me know what you think. What spooky or horror-themed games do you enjoy playing in the month of October? Are any of them on Super Nintendo? And thanks for watching.